Every trader dreams of it. That moment when you go from struggling to make sense of the charts to watching your account grow beyond what you thought possible. But here's the truth. The journey from zero to millionaire has almost nothing to do with strategy, indicators, or even market timing. It's not the system that transforms you. It's the psychology behind every decision you make. Most traders enter the market with the wrong mindset. They think wealth is created by knowing what's going to happen next. They look for the perfect setup, the flawless entry, the secret pattern that will give them certainty. But the markets don't reward certainty. They reward probability thinking. Every professional who has reached financial independence understands this. The difference between an amateur and a millionaire trader is how they think about risk, opportunity, and loss. The road from zero begins when you stop trying to control the market and start controlling yourself. Every dollar earned in trading is a reflection of emotional discipline, not just technical skill. A losing trader can use the same system as a millionaire, yet get completely different results. Why? Because one is attached to the outcome while the other is committed to the process. The millionaire knows that every trade is just one of many, that no single outcome defines success or failure. When you start seeing the market as a place of endless opportunity instead of danger or fear, you break the cycle of emotional trading. You stop hesitating. You stop second guessing. You start executing with clarity and calm confidence. This mental shift, not a new indicator, not a secret strategy, is what takes you from zero to millionaire. The transformation begins internally. You must train your mind to accept uncertainty as a natural part of trading, not as something to be avoided. You must let go of the need to be right and replace it with the need to follow your edge consistently. Millionaire traders don't chase the market. They trust their process and manage their risk with precision. They understand that consistency isn't built through intensity. It's built through discipline and patience, trade after trade. Most people fail because they treat trading like a lottery ticket, not a business. They get emotional when they win and devastated when they lose. But the trader who becomes a millionaire doesn't react. He responds. He treats losses as information, not punishment. He knows that success is a game of probabilities. And as long as he follows his plan with discipline, the results will take care of themselves. The journey from zero to millionaire is not about making more trades. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle success mentally, emotionally, and financially. Once you align your beliefs, actions, and expectations with the reality of how the market works, the results become inevitable. The wealth doesn't come to you, it grows out of you. Wealth in trading comes from mindset, not just strategy. This is a concept that many traders fail to grasp early in their careers because they are conditioned to believe that success is determined solely by the tools they use or the strategies they employ. They spend endless hours studying charts, memorizing patterns, testing indicators, and trying to discover the holy grail of trading systems. They believe that if they just find the perfect system, everything else will fall into place. Yet, despite all this effort, the majority of traders never achieve lasting success. And the reason is always the same. Their mindset is not aligned with the reality of the markets. Mindset is the foundation of every successful trading career. Without it, even the most robust strategies will fail. Consider this. Two traders could be using the same exact trading system, following the same rules and entering the same trades. One might become highly successful, while the other struggles to break even or experiences repeated losses. The difference between them is rarely the system itself. It is how they think, how they react, and how they interpret the outcome of each trade. Wealth is not a direct result of technical knowledge alone. It is a product of the inner game of trading. At its core, trading is an emotional activity. Every trade comes with uncertainty, risk, and the potential for loss. This uncertainty triggers fear, greed, hope, and regret, emotions that can easily override logic. The trader who is driven by a strong, disciplined mindset is able to manage these emotions effectively. They understand that losses are not personal failures, but natural components of trading that provide valuable information. They do not become overly euphoric after a winning streak or overly despondent after a loss. Instead, they remain focused, patient, and rational, making decisions based on probability rather than emotion. Developing the right mindset requires a fundamental shift in perspective. Most novice traders approach the market with a focus on results. They want to make money quickly, to prove themselves, and to be right all the time. This focus on outcomes creates stress and amplifies emotional reactions, which in turn leads to impulsive decisions and inconsistent performance. A trader with the correct mindset shifts the focus from results to process. They concentrate on following their trading plan with precision, managing risk effectively, and improving their discipline over time. In this way, the mindset becomes the engine that drives consistent profitability rather than the strategy itself. Another critical aspect of mindset is the ability to embrace uncertainty. Many traders are uncomfortable with the unpredictable nature of the markets. They attempt to control outcomes, predict the future, or force trades to work in their favor. This approach is futile because the market is inherently probabilistic. Wealthy traders understand that no one can predict every move, and that attempting to do so only increases stress and risk. They accept that losses will occur, that trades will not always go as planned, and that uncertainty is an integral part of the trading environment. This acceptance allows them to remain calm and focused, making rational decisions instead of reacting emotionally. Discipline and patience are direct manifestations of the right trading mindset. A disciplined trader adheres to their plan. Even when faced with the temptation to deviate, they do not chase trades, revenge trade after losses, or abandon their strategy after a few setbacks. Patience allows them to wait for high probability setups and avoid unnecessary risk. This combination of discipline and patience, fueled by a strong mindset, is what separates successful traders from those who struggle indefinitely. It is not a matter of having a better system. It is a matter of executing consistently over time with emotional control and mental clarity. The mindset also shapes the way a trader views risk. Many beginners are either too fearful or too reckless. Fear leads to hesitation, small positions, and missed opportunities, while recklessness results in over-leveraging and large, uncontrolled losses. A wealth-building mindset strikes a balance. It respects risk, calculates position sizes carefully, and manages exposure to ensure survival in the market. This balanced approach is not something a strategy can teach. It is cultivated through mental training, self-awareness, and the consistent practice of controlling one's responses to market events. Finally, wealth in trading comes from mindset because it determines long-term sustainability. Technical skills and systems may change, market conditions may fluctuate, and opportunities may arise or disappear, but the inner discipline, focus, and emotional resilience of the trader remain constant. Traders with the right mindset can adapt to changing conditions, recover from setbacks, and maintain consistent performance over years, even decades. The system alone cannot create lasting wealth. It is the mindset that enables the trader to use any system effectively and to maintain the consistency required for compounding gains over time. A trader who develops the proper mindset learns to detach from the need for validation from individual trades, understands the value of patience and discipline, and embraces the inherent uncertainty of the markets. They cultivate a mindset that thrives under stress, remains rational under pressure, and is committed to continuous improvement. By focusing on the inner game rather than external indicators, they create the foundation for lasting success, making wealth a natural byproduct of how they think and act, rather than the result of luck or perfect strategy. Would you like me to continue expanding this to hit 2,000 words for a full in-depth deep dive in the same style? Success depends on controlling emotions, not the market. This principle is the cornerstone of all consistent trading performance, yet it is often misunderstood by those who are new to the markets. Many traders assume that success comes from predicting price movements, finding the right entry and exit points, or mastering technical indicators. While these tools are important, they are secondary to the internal mastery required to navigate the emotional roller coaster that trading inherently produces. The market is neutral. It does not favor anyone and does not discriminate between a novice and an experienced trader. The difference between consistent winners and those who fail lies entirely in the ability to manage emotions under pressure. Emotions are constantly at play in every trade. Fear, greed, hope, and regret are powerful forces that can override rational thinking. Fear can prevent a trader from entering a trade, cause them to exit too early, or make them hesitate when the opportunity is ripe. Greed can lead to over-leveraging, chasing profits, and taking unnecessary risks. Hope can make a trader hold on to losing positions for too long, waiting for the market to turn around in their favor. Regret can create hesitation, doubt, and a lack of confidence in future decisions. The trader who succeeds understands that these emotions are inevitable but controllable, and that the key to long-term success is not eliminating them, but mastering them. Controlling emotions requires self-awareness and discipline. A trader must be able to recognize when their feelings are influencing their decisions. They must distinguish between rational analysis and emotional reaction and develop the ability to pause before acting impulsively. This awareness is the first step toward emotional control. Without it, even the most logical strategies can be sabotaged by knee-jerk reactions and impulsive behavior. Emotional mastery is not a skill that can be learned overnight. It is developed through consistent practice, reflection, and a willingness to confront one's own psychological patterns. One of the most important aspects of emotional control is detachment from outcomes. Many traders are overly invested in the results of individual trades. They celebrate wins excessively and mourn losses intensely. This attachment creates a cycle of emotional highs and lows that can cloud judgment and lead to inconsistent performance. A trader who controls their emotions focuses on the process rather than the outcome. They understand that each trade is just one of many, and that no single trade defines their success or failure. By shifting the focus from results to execution, they reduce the emotional impact of market fluctuations and maintain mental clarity. Risk management is another critical element of emotional control. Fear and greed are often magnified when positions are too large relative to account size. By managing risk carefully, a trader can prevent emotions from spiraling out of control. Proper position sizing, stop-loss placement, and adherence to a trading plan create a safety net that allows the trader to remain calm, even when the market moves against them. This structural approach to risk reduces emotional stress and reinforces the discipline needed for consistent trading. The ability to remain calm under pressure is a hallmark of successful traders. Market volatility and unexpected events will always occur, and emotional reactions to these events can lead to catastrophic mistakes. A trader with strong emotional control approaches volatility with composure, viewing it as an opportunity rather than a threat. They do not react impulsively to sudden price swings, and they do not let temporary losses trigger panic or frustration. Instead, they rely on their plan, trust their analysis, and execute trades with rational judgment, allowing the natural probabilities of the market to work in their favor. Emotional control also influences decision-making in the long term. Traders who are ruled by emotion tend to overtrade, chase losses, or abandon strategies prematurely. They make decisions based on short-term feelings rather than long-term objectives. Conversely, traders who manage their emotions can make consistent, rational decisions that align with their overall plan. They stick to their strategy even during drawdowns, resist the temptation to deviate from tested rules, and maintain a steady approach that allows compounding gains to accumulate over time. Self-confidence is closely linked to emotional control. A trader who cannot manage their feelings often lacks trust in their own decisions, second-guessing every move and hesitating at critical moments. This lack of confidence leads to missed opportunities and inconsistent results. In contrast, a trader with emotional mastery trusts their process and their abilities, which reinforces rational decision-making and reduces anxiety. Confidence is built through experience, reflection, and consistent practice, and it becomes a reinforcing loop. Emotional control strengthens confidence, and confidence strengthens emotional control. Another dimension of emotional control is the ability to accept losses without internalizing them. Losses are inevitable in trading, and every trader will experience them. Those who fail often view losses as personal failures, allowing guilt, anger, and frustration to disrupt future trades. Successful traders perceive losses objectively. They analyze them, learn from them, and move forward without allowing emotion to cloud judgment. This perspective transforms every loss into a learning opportunity and ensures that emotional reactions do not compromise long-term performance. The interplay between discipline, patience, and emotional control cannot be overstated. Emotional mastery allows a trader to remain disciplined in following their plan and patient in waiting for the right opportunities. Without emotional control, discipline breaks down, patience erodes, and impulsive decisions dominate. Emotional mastery provides the stability necessary to execute a strategy consistently, which is the ultimate determinant of success in trading. Would you like me to continue expanding this further to 2,000 words for a complete deep dive in the same style? Consistency and discipline beat intensity and luck. Many traders enter the markets with the belief that success comes from taking big risks, trading frequently, or relying on gut feelings and intuition. They assume that trading is about hitting the jackpot on a few high-risk trades or finding the one setup that will suddenly make them wealthy. This approach often leads to emotional burnout, large losses, and inconsistent results. What separates traders who build real wealth from those who fail is not intensity or luck, but the ability to maintain consistent behavior and disciplined execution over time. Consistency and discipline create compounding results, which in the long run are far more powerful than any single trade or moment of luck. Consistency begins with a clear and well-defined trading plan. A trader without a plan is at the mercy of emotions, market noise, and random impulses. A plan defines the rules for entries, exits, position sizing, and risk management. It acts as a framework that guides behavior, reducing the influence of emotional reactions and impulsive decisions when followed consistently. This plan ensures that each trade is executed according to a tested methodology rather than being driven by hope, fear, or desire for immediate results. Without this consistency, even a profitable system can fail because inconsistent application creates unpredictable outcomes. Discipline is the engine that drives consistency. Discipline is the ability to follow your plan precisely even when the market tempts you to deviate. It is the strength to resist chasing trades, overtrading, or abandoning rules after a losing streak. Discipline requires self-awareness, emotional control, and a commitment to long-term objectives. It is cultivated over time through repeated practice and reflection, and it is reinforced by tracking performance and reviewing trades objectively. A trader who is disciplined does not allow emotions or external pressures to dictate actions. They stick to their process regardless of short-term outcomes and trust that consistent execution will yield results over time. Luck, on the other hand, is fleeting and unreliable. Some traders may experience early wins due to random chance or favorable market conditions, but without consistency and discipline, these wins are temporary and unsustainable. Relying on luck creates a false sense of confidence and encourages risky behavior. When the inevitable losses occur, traders who depend on luck often react emotionally, abandoning their systems or increasing risk in an attempt to recover quickly. In contrast, disciplined traders recognize that luck is part of trading, but they do not depend on it. They focus on executing their strategy consistently, understanding that the law of large numbers will eventually favor their edge. The compounding effect of consistent and disciplined trading cannot be overstated. Small discipline gains accumulated over time can lead to exponential growth, while sporadic high-risk trades may produce short-term results, but are unlikely to generate lasting wealth. Consistency ensures that profits are not wiped out by impulsive mistakes, and discipline maintains the structure necessary for compounding to occur. Each trade becomes a building block, and the accumulation of disciplined decisions creates a powerful momentum that cannot be matched by intensity or sporadic luck. Emotional control is tightly linked to both consistency and discipline. A trader who lacks emotional regulation is more likely to deviate from their plan, chase losses, or act impulsively under stress. Emotional volatility disrupts the rhythm of consistent execution and erodes discipline. By cultivating mental stability, traders reinforce their ability to apply their strategy methodically, which in turn strengthens their overall performance. Emotional mastery allows traders to remain patient during drawdowns, calm during volatility, and focused on the process rather than the outcome of individual trades. Consistency and discipline also shape the way traders approach risk management. Over-leveraging, reckless decisions, and emotional reactions are mitigated when a trader adheres to a structured plan. Consistently, proper risk management ensures survival in the market, allowing the trader to endure inevitable losses without emotional or financial devastation. Discipline reinforces this structure, compelling the trader to maintain appropriate position sizes, set stop-loss levels, and avoid taking trades outside of their defined edge. This approach preserves capital, protects against catastrophic mistakes, and allows profits to compound over time. Another element of consistency is the development of routines and habits. Successful traders create systematic workflows that reduce decision fatigue and reinforce disciplined behavior. These routines include reviewing markets daily, journaling trades, analyzing performance, and preparing for trading sessions methodically. By integrating these practices into daily habits, consistency becomes automatic rather than forced. Discipline is maintained because the trader has designed their environment and schedule to support rational behavior and minimize emotional influence. The mindset required for consistency and discipline also involves patience. Traders must accept that results are cumulative and not immediate. Short-term losses, drawdowns, or periods of stagnation are natural components of the process. A trader who relies on intensity or attempts to force outcomes is more likely to abandon a system prematurely Those who commit to disciplined execution over time understand that patience allows probabilities to play out, enabling small, steady gains to compound into substantial wealth, record-keeping, and performance. Analysis further reinforce consistency and discipline. By reviewing each trade objectively, traders can identify patterns, strengths, and areas for improvement. This feedback loop strengthens habits, reinforces adherence to the trading plan, and prevents emotional reactions from influencing decisions. Without this reflective practice, even disciplined traders can fall into inconsistent behavior, responding impulsively rather than methodically to market movements. Would you like me to continue expanding this keynote to 2,000 words for a full deep dive treatment in the same style? Losses are information, not failures. This concept is fundamental to understanding trading as a skill and a business rather than a game of chance. Most novice traders view losses as personal setbacks, a reflection of their ability or proof that they are not good enough to succeed. This mindset creates fear, frustration, and emotional volatility, which often leads to impulsive decisions, revenge trading, and ultimately more losses. The most successful traders, however, approach losses with a completely different perspective. They recognize that every loss contains valuable information about themselves, their strategy, and the market environment. Understanding this principle transforms losses from emotional obstacles into opportunities for growth, learning, and improvement. When a trade results in a loss, it provides immediate feedback on the execution of the plan. Did the trader follow their entry and exit rules? Did they manage risk appropriately? Did they deviate from their strategy because of emotional impulses? Each of these questions provides actionable insight. By treating a loss as data rather than a judgment, a trader can analyze what went wrong without becoming emotionally compromised. This objective approach enables them to make adjustments that improve future performance rather than being paralyzed by regret or self-doubt. The emotional impact of losses is often exaggerated because traders equate money lost with personal failure. This is a natural response, as humans are wired to feel discomfort when resources are depleted. However, equating financial loss with personal inadequacy is both irrational and counterproductive. The money lost in a single trade does not define a trader's ability or potential. What defines a trader is their response to that loss, their ability to learn from it, and their commitment to applying those lessons consistently. By reframing losses as information, traders can separate emotion from analysis and maintain clarity in decision-making. Risk management is an essential tool in converting losses into useful information. Without proper risk management, losses can be catastrophic, leading to emotional breakdowns, account blowups, and the abandonment of disciplined trading practices. By limiting exposure on each trade, traders can afford to see losses as part of the learning process rather than devastating events. A controlled loss provides a safe environment to test strategies, refine execution, and gain confidence in handling adversity. It transforms the inevitable negative outcomes of trading into a structured, educational experience. One of the most important lessons from losses is the insight they provide into a trader's psychological patterns. Emotional responses such as fear, greed, or impatience often reveal themselves during losing trades. For example, a trader may cut profits short due to fear, hold losing positions due to hope, or overtrade. To compensate for losses out of frustration, recognizing these behavioral tendencies is critical for long-term success. Losses highlight weaknesses in discipline and emotional control, allowing the trader to implement corrective measures and develop resilience over time. A systematic approach to analyzing losses is crucial. Traders should maintain a detailed trading journal that records every aspect of each trade, including entry and exit points, reasoning behind the trade, emotional state during execution, and deviations from the plan. By reviewing these records objectively, patterns emerge that reveal areas for improvement. This feedback loop converts losses into a continuous learning process. Each loss becomes a case study in human behavior, market dynamics, and strategy execution, enabling the trader to refine their approach iteratively. Losses also teach traders about the market itself. No strategy, no matter how perfect it seems in theory, will succeed in every market condition. Losses occur because markets are probabilistic, not certain. Recognizing this reality is essential for building realistic expectations and maintaining mental stability. Traders who understand that losses are a normal, predictable part of trading are less likely to overreact or abandon their plans when confronted with unfavorable outcomes. They accept losses as part of the cost of doing business in a probabilistic environment, allowing them to focus on executing strategies consistently over time. Another critical dimension is the differentiation between acceptable and unacceptable losses. Every trader must define what constitutes a manageable loss within their risk tolerance and strategy. This distinction is important because it allows for calculated risk-taking without compromising the trader's psychological state. When a loss stays within these parameters, it becomes informative and constructive. When a loss exceeds the defined risk, it signals a breakdown in discipline or a flaw in execution, prompting deeper analysis and corrective action. Understanding this distinction ensures that losses serve their purpose as information rather than becoming emotional crises. The mindset required to view losses as information also fosters resilience. Trading is inherently unpredictable, and losses are inevitable. Resilience comes from the ability to recover quickly, learn from mistakes, and maintain consistent execution despite setbacks. Traders who embrace losses as educational opportunities are better equipped to endure drawdowns without emotional disruption. They treat each loss as a temporary event, not a permanent failure, which allows them to stay focused, disciplined, and patient with the trading process. Finally, losses encourage humility and continuous improvement. Even the most experienced traders encounter losses regularly. Accepting losses as part of the journey prevents overconfidence, complacency, and arrogance. It keeps the trader engaged, reflective, and committed to refining their skills. By internalizing the lesson that losses are information rather than personal failure, traders cultivate a growth-oriented mindset. This perspective transforms adversity into a powerful teacher, turning each negative outcome into an opportunity to enhance strategy, improve discipline, and strengthen emotional control. Would you like me to continue expanding this keynote to 2,000 words for a deeper, full exploration in the same style? Millionaire traders focus on process, not outcomes. This principle is fundamental to consistent success in the markets, yet it is often overlooked by beginners who measure their trading ability by the results of individual trades. Most novice traders obsess over winning or losing, believing that a single trade can define their career or validate their skills. This obsession with outcomes creates emotional turbulence, leads to impulsive decision-making, and undermines long-term growth. Traders who achieve lasting wealth understand that results are the natural consequence of following a disciplined, well-defined process, and they direct their energy toward perfecting that process rather than fixating on immediate gains. Focusing on process means prioritizing execution over results. Every trade has a plan, an entry, an exit, a stop loss, and a position size based on probability and risk management. Successful traders follow this plan consistently without being swayed by the excitement of potential profits or the fear of potential losses. The process is a set of repeatable actions that over time produces results. It is not the outcome of any single trade that matters, but the consistent application of principles that have been tested and refined. This mindset allows traders to remain rational, even during periods of volatility or unexpected losses, and ensures that each decision aligns with their long-term objectives. When traders focus on outcomes, they become reactive. A losing trade can trigger frustration, anxiety, or the urge to get even, leading to revenge trading and impulsive behavior. A winning trade can induce overconfidence, prompting the trader to take excessive risks or deviate from their plan. By contrast, when the process is the primary focus, individual results become irrelevant. A loss is simply a data point that provides feedback about the execution of the plan, and a win is confirmation that the process is being followed correctly. This perspective removes the emotional highs and lows that often sabotage inconsistent traders. Process-oriented thinking also reinforces discipline. Discipline is the ability to follow rules, manage risk, and execute decisions with consistency. Traders who concentrate on outcomes are easily swayed by market noise, hype, or personal emotions, which undermines discipline. In contrast, a focus on process creates a structure for decision-making that is insulated from external influences. By adhering to a well-defined method, traders maintain control over their actions, reducing the likelihood of impulsive trades or emotional reactions. Over time, this disciplined approach compounds into consistent performance and long-term profitability. Risk management is an essential element of process-oriented trading. Every trade carries uncertainty, and even the best strategies will occasionally produce losses. Traders who focus on outcomes often perceive losses as failures and respond emotionally, risking further capital to compensate. A process-focused trader, however, views risk as part of the plan and ensures that no single trade can jeopardize the overall account. By managing position sizes, setting stop losses, and adhering to risk parameters, the trader creates a safety net that allows the process to function effectively. Losses become manageable and instructive, reinforcing the importance of consistency and proper execution rather than triggering emotional responses. Patience is another key component of process-focused trading. Markets do not always present ideal opportunities, and the pressure to produce immediate results can lead traders to force trades or chase setups that do not align with their strategy. A process-oriented mindset allows traders to wait for high-probability scenarios, understanding that disciplined patience ultimately produces better outcomes. By focusing on the quality of execution rather than the speed of results, traders maintain emotional equilibrium and avoid the traps of impulsive behavior and overtrading. A focus on process also enhances adaptability. Markets are dynamic and constantly changing, and rigid attachment to results can prevent traders from learning or adjusting strategies effectively. By concentrating on the process, traders develop a mindset of continuous improvement. They analyze each trade objectively, identify areas for refinement, and adjust their methods without letting emotional attachment to wins or losses cloud judgment. This iterative process ensures that the trading approach evolves over time, increasing the likelihood of sustained success. Traders who prioritize process cultivate mental clarity. Outcome-focused traders often experience cognitive overload as they obsess over every win or loss, second-guess decisions, and worry about performance metrics. This mental strain reduces the ability to think critically and respond appropriately to market conditions. By focusing on the process, traders free their minds from these distractions. They can concentrate on observation, analysis, and execution, which improves decision-making and allows them to operate in a calm, rational, and strategic manner. The process-focused approach also reinforces the development of self-trust. Traders who concentrate on outcomes are frequently plagued by doubt, questioning their abilities whenever a trade goes against them. A consistent focus on process builds confidence in one's method, reinforcing the belief that following a well-structured plan will yield favorable results over time. This trust allows traders to act decisively, avoid hesitation, and maintain a stable mindset regardless of short-term market fluctuations. Another important aspect of focusing on process is the cultivation of resilience. Trading inevitably involves setbacks, losing streaks, and periods of uncertainty. Traders who fixate on outcomes often become discouraged or demoralized when faced with temporary adversity. Process-oriented traders, however, view setbacks as part of the system and continue executing their plan with discipline. This resilience enables them to endure challenging conditions without deviating from their approach, which is crucial for long-term success. Journaling and feedback loops are integral to maintaining a process-oriented mindset. Documenting trades, analyzing mistakes, and reviewing execution help traders identify patterns, strengths, and areas for improvement. This reflective practice reinforces the importance of the process and provides objective insights that are independent of individual results. Over time, this continual refinement ensures that the trader's actions are aligned with their long-term goals and that each trade contributes to the development of skill and consistency. Would you like me to continue expanding this keynote to 2,000 words for a fully detailed exploration in the same style?